Man, the Chicago Bears. What a fucking mess that this Caleb Williams experiment has been so far. This is not going over well. And I see a lot of people on Twitter saying how if you blame Caleb Williams, you don't watch the games. You don't know anything about football. You need to stop talking. You're just biased and opinionated. You're just a hater and jealous of Caleb Williams. And other stuff like that just literally doesn't make any sense. They make stuff up to make themselves feel better about why their opinion is better than yours. I'm not proclaiming my opinion is better than yours. I present facts, and I present facts mixed with my opinion, and I let you be the judge of that. I'm going to state facts in this video. So let me state some facts here. And these are all true. You can look these up. This is all true. Now, this was before this game happened. These stats were something that happened before, this game, the Lions game. So let me read you these stats. His completion percentage for the season has been 61.9, which would rank him 29th in the NFL out of all starting quarterbacks. 17 passing touchdowns, now that's went up to 19. But, every other quarterback's number is changing, so who honestly gives a fuck? Like, literally, I don't give a fuck. These are a bit outdated, but it's the same sort of thing where even if he had a crazy game, none of these would change because we're so late into the season. Maybe he'd go up by 1 or 2 ranks or down 1 or 2, but it doesn't matter. These are almost basically set in stone. He has 17 passing touchdowns, 19 now, but he ranked 17th previously. Touchdown percentage is 3.7, which will rank him 27th out of all quarterbacks in the NFL. His interception percentage is 1.1, and that's going to be lower after this game, probably 1.0, which will rank him 3rd in the NFL. Now, his yards per attempt is 6.3, which will rank him 30th in the NFL, almost dead last. So that would indicate that he is not throwing the ball deep enough, and this mainly comes in the first half of the game where he's dinking and dunking and checking it down in the first quarter and, missing relatively easy passes. And his yards per game, 209, which ranks 23rd in the NFL, so in the lower half. Obviously, that's going to go up by probably a couple yards, but it's going to stay in the 20 range probably. So still not good, not even average, below average. Now, these are the most damning stats in my opinion. Throwaways, he has 26 throwaways, which is tied first in the NFL with Patrick Mahomes. Drop percentage, hey, at least he's tied in the stat with Patrick Mahomes, I guess, so you can keep making that comparison, but regardless. The drop percentage of the Bears team with Caleb Williams at quarterback is 3.9, which ranks 23rd. By the way, this is going from highest to lowest. So the lower down on this stat you are, the better your team the better your team is at catching the ball. This would indicate that the Bears receivers aren't really dropping the ball. It's only 3.9 drop percentage. There are some elite quarterbacks like Justin Herbert and I believe Lamar Jackson that have like high drop percentages, on passes. So, yeah. And now this one is the worst one in my opinion. Bad throws. 97, which would put him at first in the NFL. This has basically almost certainly gone up from this game. It's probably like 102, 103 something now. So, maybe even higher than that. Now his bad throw percentage, by the way, that would rank him first in the NFL. His bad throw percentage is 22.2, which would rank him 3rd in the NFL, right next to guys like Anthony Richardson, who's having a horrific year. So yeah, make of that what you will. His on-target throw percentage is 71.6, which is 28th in the NFL, almost dead last, very close to dead last. And Caleb Williams' time to throw is 2.93, which that's according to NFL Next Gen. And that would rank him 9th out of all the starting quarterbacks in the NFL. I had to exclude Deshaun Watson and Justin Fields because those guys have not played more than 10 games, so I'm disqualifying them. They don't qualify. And now this one is one of the most damning. Times blitzed, 142, which would rank at first in the NFL. He's being blitzed way more than basically anybody else. And he's being blitzed more because they understand he's a rookie and, he can't really sense or handle pressure. So especially in the first half where, if you just overwhelm him and swarm him, he will look like a fish out of water and he just will not look good whatsoever. And that's been the case for most of the games the past 5-6 weeks. They get after him in the first half and the other team gets up by 27 points and they just go into soft backed up zone coverage and play 2 safeties over the top and make sure they don't get beat over the top and just let him throw little dinky shit over the middle. and stuff to the flats, and just really easy swing passes and screens in general, which once again racks up his stats, makes his passing yards look better than they are, gives him more touchdowns, and inflates the completion percentage. And I'm not going to blame it fully. I'm honestly not going to blame the ineptitude of this offense fully on Caleb Williams. There are a lot of problems, all right? There have been some drops. It's not that prevalent of an issue, but it's something, I guess, worth addressing. The line has sort of been fluctuating between, person and person because of injuries. So it's not the greatest, but as we've seen with the stat, it's not a bad offensive line at all. He's clearly receiving time to throw and is just holding on to the ball for way too fucking long. And he's making bad throws even when he has time to throw. The throws are sometimes erratic and inaccurate, so there's that. And you have the play calling, which obviously, as I've observed, is not very fucking good. I never thought that one scrub that they had, whatever the hell his name is, Shane Waldron was any good. I said that in my video praising Caleb Williams for his good performance against Jacksonville. I'm saying that Shane Waldron's a scrub, and people were in the comments saying how good he was, and then 2 weeks later they were asking for him to be fired. So, once again, people moving the fucking goalposts for Caleb Williams, and that's something else I wanted to address. The goalposts continue to move. First, it was, in the offseason, how generational he was, a once-in-a-lifetime quarterback prospect, how they're going to win 10, 11, 12 games, and they're going to make the Super Bowl, they're going to make the playoffs, they're going to win the division, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. And then, once the season started, he started playing poorly, it was the coordinator's fault, it was the offensive line's fault, it was this, it was that, and then it was, Eberflus's fault, he's fired. And then, now it's the receiver's fault for dropping passes. I mean, they find a new excuse every other week. It's kind of crazy to me how, goalposts move this much. And I'm not even saying that Caleb Williams played a bad game. He didn't even play a bad game. Like, he played okay for the most part. And once again, I'd say probably just under half of those yards are garbage yards. They don't matter because they were down by 17 plus. So, Lions were playing backed off coverage and zone coverage, never playing man, not blitzing, because that's just what they needed to do, because you don't want to blitz him and get, he's going to throw a go route and get beat over the top. There's no sense in that. Play backed off coverage, don't get beat over the top, let him dink and dunk, let him make those fucking throws. Maybe occasionally they mix some stuff up, but regardless, that's what teams have just been doing with Caleb Williams. They blitz him early, they blitz him in the first, second quarter, and, they sort of, once they get that big lead, they just literally give him cushion to throw. And teams, the offensive coordinators and the analysts must be laughing whenever they see the Bears on the schedule. Like, holy shit, this is going to be an easy fucking game. They got Caleb Williams. All we got to do is play a lot of man coverage, blitz a lot, give him some confusing looks, just get after the quarterback, get a good pass rush, and he's going to hold on to the ball for forever, make terrible fucking throws, go 3 and out in the first half, and we'll be up by 21 at halftime, and we can just play backed off coverage, hold the ball, run the ball, win the game. And that's what teams fucking do. They do that exact strategy, is they come out aggressive, they score, and the Bears can't respond, and in the second half, the game isn't close, but oh my God, the Bears are scoring a lot of points. Oh, they scored 20 points, that's enough to win, but then you realize this final score is 20-42. So, and people are blaming the defense. The defense, honestly, I can't blame them. They've had enough. Like, you can just tell they're fed up, they're sick. Because the first 6 weeks of the season, they were carrying fucking Caleb Williams. Like, because his life literally depended on it being carried because he was so fucking trash in the first 6 weeks of the season. Then, stopped turning the ball over and became more of a game manager and, didn't do anything spectacular. And now we're here, man. This is bad. Like, this is just really bad. I feel bad for Bears fans because this is ugly. This is really fucking ugly. And Eberflus scapegoat, Waldron scapegoat, line scapegoat. Everyone's the scapegoat for Caleb Williams. Everyone's the fall guy for Caleb Williams. Next year, we are going to see if he's the real deal or if he is a phony. And I'm betting my money on somewhere in between. I think next year, it's going to be an okay year for him, but he won't be that impressive. I don't think he's going to take any sort of leap next year because his play style, I don't know if you could fix him holding on to the ball forever and his inaccuracy. This is not something that I think can be fixed. So we'll have an okay statistical season, but when you actually look and see what he's doing, it's not all that impressive. I'm done, man. Bears are a fucking tragedy. They're a disaster. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.